Hello, and welcome back to A Cage Sustained, episode 22, season 1 finale. Ooh! I'm Chris Bernal, aka Crifu, and I'm the game master for this Pathfinder adventure path, Curse of the Crimson Throne. Let's meet our players.
Why, hello. My name is Liza. I play Confidence Bright, the halfling inquisitor of Abadar, who, in the course of these adventures with these fine folks, has become the commissioner of the Corvosan Intelligence Agency, a young, up-and-coming government organization in Corvosa that's been dealing with some interesting problems.
How many D&D adventures start off like that? Government agencies.
Up and coming government
Up-and-coming government
Mhm.
agencies. Look, we have to be special somehow.
Exactly. Moving on.
Hi, I'm Sylviana, and I play Ivor Locks, who is a 17-year-old human aerokineticist and the head babysitter for the Sable Company. He is also the Sable Company's official representative to the KIA. Right now, Ivor has taken 12 points of non-lethal damage, but he is working hard to concentrate on not glowing with electricity while standing in a crowd of people. So things are going well for him, I would say.
I feel like terminology is he's burned 12 non-lethal points.
He has burned 12 of his own hit points to try to do very nasty things to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And as a consequence, he's hurting real bad, and also trying not to just literally glow from like every inch of his skin.
Hot.
Speaking of,
Hi, I'm Pooja. I play Simran, who is a sylph magus, and she is, I was saying these last couple of episodes that she's been fine, but I think it's the day's finally starting to get to her. There's been a lot of fighting, there's been a lot of spell burning, a lot of taking hits, watching her friends get frozen, and it's just been a long day and an emotional day for her. And she's currently very taken aback because up until 10 minutes ago, she thought that there was nothing they could do to prevent this incredibly terrible travesty. And then one man alone just went and prevented it, and she doesn't know how to deal with that. So, fun times ahead.
swooped in. Is she feeling anger, guilt?
I think it's probably a little anger at herself for, not being the one up there, kind of, a little bit of that. And guilt for talking Ursian out of it, or like trying to help talk Ursian out of it.
Sure.
She literally said, there's nothing we can do except die, and then someone did exactly that and didn't die yet. So
Yeah. And then we have...
I'm Homero. I play Nucine, the transmuter android arcanist of the Academy. And the irony of the previously mentioned situation is definitely not lost on Nucine. But probably less angry about it and more of just like, okay, I can see how that works. And is now just keeping an eye on these, if I remember correctly, these gray maidens who've suddenly become almost like the Queen's personal enforcers.
The Queen's Guard.
Mm-hmm. The new Queen's Guard. And it's just, again, like Simran, feels very tapped out, and is just looking forward to the end of this day coming as soon as possible, because it has been a draining and long, exhausting day.
Is she's tapped out, like no more spells?
I got a couple spells left. But like...
A couple spells?
Yeah, I've got exactly 2.
probably first level, right?
Yeah, just first level.
Yeah,
I have 2 first level spells, I might as well not have any!
And of course, then there's...
I'm Scott. I play Ursian Corrupt, the human fighter and former armiger of the Hell Knights, specifically the Order of the Nail, the prevailing non-official but really de facto military force in this fine city. I think Ursian is always out of spell slots. He's never glowing. He's never getting powers from Abadar. He's not a sylph or an android. He is a man who's galvanized into action. And while everyone else seems worn out and is weary, he's feeling justified and vindicated in his zeal. And watching someone spring into action, he finds himself with, despite being battered and beaten by the day, is looking forward to stepping it up a little bit and getting into the action. Like, this is the time for good people to do the right thing, and he wants to stand amongst their ranks.
Yeah. We keep speaking about this thing that just happened. Previously, we left the Dead Warrens with all the parts of the young man we were sent to collect, but no Rolf Lamb in sight. His minions, upon interrogation, gave up the fact that he had left earlier that day to collect more parts, ingredients. Regardless, Cressida came to us and let the Corvosa Intelligence Agency know that Queen Iliosa Arabesti was planning to execute Trinia Sabor at sunset. One little problem there, Trinia wasn't in the city anymore, thanks to you all. For you and, of course, with the Field Marshal and Commander Marcus Endrin's aid, discovered that Trinia did not murder the king, as the queen told people. So what was up? After several hours of waiting, resting, and some arguing, we attended the execution. Everyone resigned to the fact that this innocent young woman, some other blonde woman that was brought onto stage, not the Trinia Sabor you all saved, was going to die. When at the last moment, a masked vigilante, Blackjack, the hero of Corvosa, swooped in and saved her. Another little issue there, Blackjack hasn't been seen in a few decades, except the last time he was seen was a week ago by you all, and he was a halfling, which had never been seen before. So
That is way, way cool. Not that I'm biased.
This Blackjack was presumably a human. What's going on? It's hard to tell. I'm switching music now.
This Blackjack is +4 more intimidating.
You know it.
2 creatures that are small, yes, that would be the case. I guess. Maybe something like.
What if it's like there's no one Blackjack? We're all Blackjack.
All you have to do is put on the mask and
Mhm.
you become Blackjack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can be the Blackjack who can't climb buildings and falls on grease spells.
But you have a big sword.
You have a big sword.
And listen, if Nucine is the betrayer, like, it's just gonna be, you're gonna be so easy. I'm not even gonna worry about you. It's just Ivor, just blasty blast.
Yeah, so I'm counting on. That's why I don't travel alone. I do one. Ivor does one thing really well. I also do one thing really well. But you do a lot of different things creepily well, so we have to keep an eye on you.
Thank you. It's really kind of you to say.
See, I mean, first it's creepy to think that's a compliment, but yeah,
So, the courtyard is a mass with a swarm of people nearly rioting. The Grey Maidens are trying their best to keep the peace, but you can see not far from you, they've begun striking down villagers that have become too rowdy. Queen Iliosa is long gone. Sabina Marin, who Ivor correctly clocked through her fancy new helmet, rushed
Did
off.
not remember her name.
Rushed off back up the stairs, up the Grand Mastaba to Castle Corvosa.
How crazy is the crowd right now?
It's pretty wild.
Are people in danger right now?
It seems so, but the way that the swarm is kind of moving, I think it's you're having trouble even staying near each other, and you're all being pushed to the east.
Ivor's trying to keep his composure, and by composure I mean his regular human body. And I think is trying to look for confidence, who maybe he's having trouble seeing because it's a field of mostly humans and she's so short. So he's kind of like, confidence, confidence.
I think hearing Ivor shout, I'm gonna grab my holy symbol and cast light, just so that I kind of start glowing, and hopefully exuding a little bit more visibility and B, a little bit more authority. And I'm gonna try and make myself heard in the crowd, and say, Ivor, I'm over here.
You definitely hear her, and the people start like kind of moving around away from you at first. Like, whoa, where's this light coming from? But even then, it's hard to move too far. It's maybe like a foot.
Yeah, I just like run to confidence, like just hopping through the crowd, you know, very dexterous. I maybe even hop over some people, find her, and then I look around for everyone else to see if I can spot them.
I think Ursian is moving towards the light and the voice and the party, but probably with less dexterity and probably leaning into a different skill set to part the way.
Shoving through.
Yeah, I'm trying to employ that 19 strength as best I can. So I'm kind of...
Simran is making her way through as well, except she's just definitely more like... She's not climbing over people, but she's definitely like elbowing her way, but then like shimmying through. So it's kind of the middle ground between
like
those two.
The polite shove.
They're like, oh,
No,
excuse me,
I know. I
gotta
live in
get
New York. I ride the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely like just annoying enough to you where you move out of the way, but you're not going to take any damage from it.
And Nufine was already on their way to confidence because I believe in my perception check I'd overheard that many people were already talking about the KIA in perhaps a slightly negative tone. So I was already like on the way to confidence to let her know that was the case. But in order to close the remaining gap, she's just going like move, 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 and just kind of just like okay, out of the way.
Also a common occurrence on the New York City subway.
Yep. So as the five of you all, kind of come together, the crowd starts to. It's like the wave pool as you all start to move towards the east, being kind of shunt out onto the streets in the Cliffside neighborhood, in the direction of the Marble Dome, which some of you might be familiar with, Corvosa's premier opera house.
Ooh.
Yeah, do we all strike you as big opera enthusiasts?
I think Ursian pretty...
Nufine has been there at least once or twice with her parents.
I'm sure Gramps has dragged Simran there too.
I also would believe that the Brights would have attended at some point.
Many years ago, yes.
Ivor has never been to the opera house. I don't think he's ever even heard opera.
Oh, well, let's remedy that.
Oh, kids and their rap music.
It's hard to direct yourselves as you're moving, and you can see that several patrols of Grey Maidens have kind of followed the swarms of people in your direction. Make a perception check for me, please.
Ooh,
Oh, snap.
rolls, huh? Heard of them.
Perception.
19 for Simran.
What is this thing? Is it evening? Like, is the sun setting?
It is. The sun has set at this point, so it's dim lighting if you're not, but there are many torches.
I'm not saying that the presence of bright light affects my perception roll, but it does. I rolled a natural one, so even with bright light, that wasn't gonna be more than an 11. So it's an 8.
No.
I got a dirty 20.
Simran got 19, as I said. Yeah.
An 11. I think I'm pretty limited in my field of vision by the fact that almost everyone here is twice my height.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you want me to
Nufine got a
lift you
9.
up?
New scene,
No.
9?
9. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ursian.
20.
As you note that one of the patrols contains it's 3 Grey Maidens, and they seem to be making for your position.
Okay. My hand goes to my weapon, but I do not draw it because I'm not going to cut down some people. But I stand my ground and wait to make like eye contact, and I point them out to whomever's closest to me, and I say like, "Trouble coming this way."
That would be Simran.
All right, so I tap Simran and say, like, and point them out to them, and hope that they might see me pointing them out. So this might be coming to a head.
It's hard because then at that point the crowd pushes you again and it starts moving through the blocks.
Okay.
The Grey Maiden's just trying to push, literally sweep the streets clear from the steps up to the castle.
Simran also draws her, has her hand on one hand on her scimitar, and she's keeping one hand on Ursian the best she can, so as to not lose him in the crowd.
Okay.
Because she doesn't want to be separated if someone's making their way to him.
We might have to go back to back with our swords and do all kind of cool fighting stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So give me just a sec.
It is true. We are the melee fighters. Like we're always at the front. Guys down. Kicking ass, taking names.
Yeah, I think I refuse Ivor's offer to like hoist me up on his shoulders, which I'm sure you're very good at as a professional babysitter.
With the kids, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, but I will kind of like hold on to maybe like the trailing end of his scarf or something so as not to get lost.
Good
Right
idea.
with the scarf.
So can you give me like a marching order? You're quickly moving towards empty parts of the streets and the crowd is dispersing. You can tell that pretty soon it will just be you and the Grey Maidens.
Yeah, I think Ivor and Confidence are in the front, kind of. Ivor's tall, so he can maybe peer over some of the other people to see like where there's a path, and Confidence has the light.
Yeah, and I think probably once we get to a point where we could like step into a door frame or something and let kind of ourselves huddle up, that would be my inclination, because like I'm slow and I'm tiny, so I would probably like once there's like an alley or a door frame or something, not like super out of the way, but just like, or like a building that juts out and there's just like a place we can just step out of the throng.
Okay. Switching to the map.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Why would we need to do that, Chris?
Yeah. Something
It's
wrong.
a map for role playing purposes. That's what my other group says. Oh no, I'm gonna put a map down for role playing purposes. It's always my favorite.
For roleplay purposes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is a
That's
big map.
Funny. Let me give you some light confidence.
That's what my pal Alden said. He's like, oh, good, a map for role playing purposes. I'm like, ow, you monster. But enough about that guy. Ooh, peasants.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, the
there
laughter.
There are some peasants around.
That's how
They're
you've been in New York
townspeople.
for a while. Look at these. Can't even afford two bros.
Okay, Homero.
It makes me nervous that the peasants have health bars.
Yes. I also don't like how.
Believe me, they
Homero
feel
makes
nervous
it-
too.
It means I have to
Oh,
care about them.
They're like, oh no, we're mortal. They become.
So as soon as you step like into this little corner, like you've just come from the north and stepped into this area. I'm gonna give you a moment to huddle up and organize yourselves before these three Grey Maidens come from around the other side of the block.
Okay, I'm gonna get. Should I just move back away over here? No, I'm just kidding.
I think I probably see that Simran and Ursian both have their hands on their weapon. Say, what's going on? What's wrong?
Potentially trouble, but we'll talk our way out of it. We're very good at this.
I agree.
You're very good at this. Maybe you should get closer. Come.
I'm just kind of like Roland's like reaches down and scoots me across the conversation.
Okay. So at that point,
they're looking for my badge.
Yeah,
The three
I have
Grey-
at this point pulled out my badge and affixed it to the front of my coat.
Okay. At that point, the three Grey Maidens march around the corner. They're wearing this shiny steel plate armor with red accoutrement and like big helms that obscure their faces and like a red plumes at the top. Very, very fancy looking, very attractive looking armor as well. The three of them step towards you, and the first one in front, she's holding a shield and draws her longsword, and she says, "Halt!"
You're
one,
standing still.
and they start moving towards you.
I free
Someone's
action.
group gets a little
Take out
tighter.
the wand of magic missile.
Oh
and
God!
Hold it
I
behind my
kind of
back.
hold up my holy symbol, which is still glowing with light, and say, "What is your business with us? Who are you?"
The first one, as I said, she's holding a shield. They all have longbows. Only one of them is actually holding hers. She also has a shield on her back. The other one draws a silver halberd off of her back.
Uh-oh.
We believe you have business with Blackjack, and we want you to come to us to the castle.
What evidence do you have to that? Do you have a warrant for our arrest?
A warrant is not needed when the Queen orders it so.
We would be happy to give testimony before the Queen, but perhaps we could make an appointment?
The woman behind her, holding the salver, like spits on the ground, pulls out a potion and like uncorks it and just.
Oh.
Oh. Nissine's eyes get real big, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know what that means.
They all kind of look at each other, and the front one with the shield and sword. Are you resisting? Please,
No.
tell me you're resisting.
And I just look at her and I smile and I said, I would be delighted to speak to the Queen if she can make an appointment with our office.
I think I draw my sword.
Simran's face is definitely resisting. I don't know about the rest of her.
Yeah, like when you say that and the appointment comes out again, it's like I just go and I just draw the, with business-like efficiency, I just draw the blade.
Okay.
And when Ursian does that, Simran does too. And she'll say, we have other things to do right now, sorry.
Ivor's really nervous and he's trying really hard not to lose concentration on like tamping down his weird air and electricity abilities. And you see like tiny little sparks start to like come off of his arms and his hands, and he puts his hands behind his back so they won't see.
The one holding her shield looks over her shoulder at the one with the halberd and says, "Lieutenant." The one with the halberd steps forward, throws her helmet to the ground. Hold on. And Ursion, you see that it's Autry Tild.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
The pink-skinned woman with the orc tusks. You can tell, you can see that something's changed in her. One of her tusks have been broken off in the last week since you've seen her, and there's like this like sword cut across her face. She's had plenty of scars, but this one is new. And as she's holding the halberd, she screams, and she says, "Callistria's given me this chance, Ursian!" And her eyes begin to glow with a yellowish light that you've never seen before.
Oh, that can't be good. Okay.
Roll initiative.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess talking's over.
Ooh, I forgot to pull open the character sheets.
Don't forget to click your tokens.
Oh, good call.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
I actually heard Pooja saying it in my ear, and I decided
I was
to laugh
about
for
to
everyone.
type it.
No,
Natural
you
20
see.
on initiative.
Yeah.
Damn, hell yeah.
23.
Not too bad, not too bad.
17.
I can't
I'm
tell
right
if my
behind
token is clicked or unclicked. Oh, clicked.
It'll have all your little symbols around it
Yeah,
if you
sure.
have it clicked.
That's
Okay.
15. That's
Those are, we had a 23, 22, 21.
Yeah,
Nicely
Simran
done.
rolled a 19, so she's at a 20.
Oh, we hardly knew ye.
What did she roll? 4. Ah, that sucks.
She just, she saw Ursian and she thought that she was prepared for this battle, but then she looked at his face and she realized she's really not.
That's possible. I mean, I thought I was prepared, and then I like started shaking as we got here, and I was like, ah, oh god, how is this gonna go? But all right, let's do it.
Ooh.
Okay, not terrible. 21, reordering, confidence, 22. Very nice. 17. She's last. That's fucking sucks. All right. So yes, Autry Tild, this pink-skinned woman, half-orc, screams. Ursion's ex-girlfriend, essentially. New scene. What do you do?
recognizing this face, I yell at Ursion, Ursion, please make sure it's clear that they know we're resisting. And I begin to cast Enlarge Person, throwing this mote of metal at them, this dust, this metal. And then I take a 5-foot step away.
Okay.
I did this last time I fought these people, too. Or I intimidated them at that time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Simran.
Simran doesn't want to attack first, so she is going to. There's no way forward for her, is there? Because confidence is in the way. I guess
You
we
can
can
move through me.
You just can't end in her spot.
Okay. Well, never mind. She can't get closer without getting into someone's. Getting into melee with someone, so she's just gonna.
You're not in melee if nobody's attacking.
Yeah, she just feels like if she moves forward past confidence, someone will attack. And so she's just gonna
Can you
hold
take attacks opportunity when you're flat-footed?
Nope.
Everyone's still flat-footed.
Oh,
They
okay.
haven't taken their turn yet.
Is this a place she can stand right here?
It's like
Yes.
under a building, right? Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
underneath an eave.
So she's gonna move there, and she is going to hold she will. I guess I don't know how holding actions work. She wants to hold just a swipe with her sword or scimitar if something attacks her or her friends.
Okay, you're readying an action to attack if someone attacks y'all. Ivor.
Ivor drops concentration on his regular human body, and his skin, the electricity just starts pulsating out of his skin, and it collects in his palms, and he forms a ball of electricity that he holds between both of his palms, and he just looks at Autry,
Oops.
ready.
Okay. All right. Are you readying as well?
Yeah. It was just cooler to describe it.
I got it. Confidence.
I can do something that is basically taking a defensive stance, right?
Yes,
thing I
there's
can do?
fighting defensively, so you attack and go defense, or there's full defense where you spend
I
your
think
full
I
turn.
would like to do full defense.
And that's just a standard action, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. Yes.
You get a +4 to all your ACs.
that sounds like what I want to do. I think I'm probably gonna just
Power Ranger stance.
yeah, take a defensive stance. I don't have a shield or anything. Realistically, I think it means I take half a step behind Ursion. But and then I say, "Oh, so this is a personal grudge. Does the Queen even know you're here? If you wanted to be helpful, you would be actively looking for Blackjack like the rest of your cohorts." And I'm just going to give them my most scornful expression.
Okay. All right. So the Grey Maiden who's holding the shield and the long sword. Oh, the standoff. It's giving me anxiety. I'm like, do I want to? Because she's going to. She again looks to her right, looks to Autry to see what she's going to do. Ursion.
I'm going
She's probably readying an action, just putting that out there.
Okay, then I am going to keep this good time going. I'm going to move forward to here in front of Confidence, and I raise my sword, but I also am going to attack. I'm going to ready an action to attack if me or my allies get attacked. So let the standoff continue.
Mm-hmm. So this other Grey Maiden, she's holding her long bow. She's gonna move up here and just kind of just a 5-foot step to the back, and it goes to Autry. What are you waiting for? She says. Attack! And she's gonna take a 5-foot step forward and brings down her silvered halberd onto Ursion.
Okay, can I attack before she attacks? Because I readied.
Yeah, Simran too, and Ivor as well.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
also going to
Ursion.
trigger that's gonna trigger the other Grey Maiden's ready to action then.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
It's gonna be a whole
Let's
big
do it.
ol'.
Does this move people? This moves people in the initiative as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
But
So,
just for this round, right?
No, like for the rest of the rounds.
Right.
So that means Simran's first,
Mm-hmm.
and then goes to then it goes to Grey Maiden.
Maiden.
No, then it goes to Ivor, then Grey Maiden, then Ursion.
Yeah.
And that's all before Autry gets her turn.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right, Simran is going for Autry.
All right.
All right, with a scimitar. Woo. No extra modifiers.
Can you reach her from there?
That's well, let me see.
Oh
what it
no,
is.
Autry, you can't reach Autry from there, but the Grey Maiden.
Whoever came to attack Ursion, whoever it is.
They're all trying to attack
She
Ursian.
critted. It's a natural 18, so that's a crit for Simran.
Okay, roll to confirm.
And let's see.
Starting off strong.
Confirm.
Who needs
Come on.
Ooh.
That's a 22 to confirm.
That crits.
Yes!
yeah.
That is the damage. So
Okay.
7 and 5.
Let me pull this critical hit deck.
I
Yes.
cannot read that. I'm zoomed out way too far.
There's some shadow there.
The street below Ivor would be great.
Simran's starting off strong.
Yeah.
I think that something slipped. Quadruple damage, and your AC is reduced by. Aha! This is what happened to the alligator
Mhm.
in that. Wow! What the fuck?
Perfect. Excellent.
Quadruple damage, and the AC is going to be reduced. Please roll a 1d10, Simran.
Damn,
I'm
Simran.
gonna make your life. Luckily, you
that's
couldn't hit
24.
Autry.
3.
Okay, so the AC goes down by 3. Great.
I love the image
Um,
of you just like destroying her shield there.
And
Yeah.
quadruple damage.
So, okay. So I roll 2 more 2d6 plus.
Yeah, go for it.
Plus your
3?
modifier twice. Yeah.
2. So okay, roll 2d6 plus 6.
That's a hell of a
14
Not
more
how bad
points
your
of damage.
14 plus 7 is
No,
21.
and-
21, so 26.
Yeah, plus 5. So 26.
Plus 5 is 26. I
Yes.
hate
Yes,
this.
queen.
Very
I
nice.
hate this. Ivor.
Oh my
I,
god.
I take the ball of electricity in one hand and just throw it at Autry.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
a 15 against her touch AC.
That'll touch.
Excellent. That is only 8 damage.
Okay.
That's disappointing.
It's 7 is the minimum.
Yeah.
Oh.
Classic Ivor.
so-
Always hits, but minimum damage.
So as Autry comes in to swing with her silvered halberd, Simran quickly stabs at the Grey Maiden next to her, and as she pulls out just viscera, like a literal puddle of blood spills out onto the floor. Her armor just completely ruined by this attack. Followed shortly thereafter by a lightning blast.
Yeah,
I think would
it's
be
just
the-
a blast. I just flavored it that it's like a ball, but it's the regular blast. I didn't get a cool special attack.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm trying. I apologize for stepping on your flavor. As a little lightning ball hits Autry, she just kind of keep it together. Okay, so now it's her ready action was to attack, so she's gonna attack Simran, the Grey Maiden, with the long sword and the shields.
Okay.
That's a 15.
That bounces off my armor.
Dang it! Ursion.
Okay, when I see, I raise my sword and I look at my kind of former paramour, friend,
Captain, patrol leader.
captain. Yeah, wow. I see her raise her. I take a guard position and kind of start and see if I can deflect and attack at the same time. I roll a 22 to hit.
Nice.
22 hits.
Okay. And that's going to do 2d6 plus 14 damage.
Oh my god.
I do 24
Wow.
damage.
Oh.
Yes.
Regular size Arceon.
Woo. Regular size Ursian versus a critical hit from Severin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same damage.
What the fuck? So,
Chris furiously doubling everyone's HP.
no, I mean the CR is what the CR. I mean, this was a random encounter,
And
y'all.
then
You're like,
4 Gray Maidens show up.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it
I think I slash down and I say like, "Stop this! Walk away!"
she was in the midst of her swing, though, so
She
it's still
was.
gonna come down. 26 to hit.
That hits. I'm only wearing a chain shirt right now. I'm casual, Ursian.
Oh crap! For 17 points of damage.
Ooh.
As she returns your blow.
Phrasing.
Oh shit!
Hey.
So okay, Ursion, as like the two of you like come up, like having just traded these blows, she screams once more, and she speaks in a different language. Does anyone speak Infernal?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Oh, yes. I think
New
so.
scene.
I was
I
gonna
knew
say,
you.
New
I
Scene would be
knew
the
you
one.
would.
I don't know what that means, but yes, I do.
And she says, she says, "I'm here for one last dance, lover," which comes out like, Ursion, make a will save.
No.
These yellow glowing daggers form out around her.
Will save, huh? I had to get rid of my iron will when I armored up, and I
Mhm.
roll a 19.
Yay.
19. The daggers spit out at you, and you can almost feel the damage that you dealt her being returned, but you
Oof.
resist it.
That would have been bad. Okay.
Round 2 starts. Ursion is large.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am.
Great. New scene.
Man, not much new scene can do. However, they will go ahead. Oh, I don't have. We put all those potions and stuff in the handy haversack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless you kept anything on you.
No, I do have the hybridization funnel. Just in case anyone's wondering. Oh, this is fun. New scene will, as a move action, pull out the Thunderstone is one. I'll take a 5-foot step and throw it at the furthest that what is that?
The long-
10,
the longbow
20,
woman?
30, 35, so I'm going to take a -1 on that. It's,
Mhm.
yeah, throw the Thunderstone at the archer.
Okay.
So that'll be... Oh, I can just do -1 directly into here. Perfect. Oh, no, I know I can't. Let's do it. Ooh, that is an 8 against touch. Although I think you just need a 5 to hit the square for a
With
splash.
Thunderstones? I think it's touch. I just used the Thunderstone like last session on y'all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
But I knew I was running it wrong before, and now I can't remember how I ran it last time.
Well, here's where
Because a
Veldrin
Thunderstone
comes
is a
in.
splash weapon, and splash weapons, I believe, you just need to hit the square with an AC of 5.
Yes. DC
Okay.
15
You're also-
fortitude save. Okay.
You're gonna hit that poor peasant.
Well, they have a health bar for a reason. They
Well,
brought the
I'm sure
Poor
they
peasant.
scattered, ran around
Okay.
the corner.
Cool.
Okay,
Good.
I was very
I'm
concerned.
very conscious about our public image.
I'm gonna make a fortitude save. Versus
Also, we
this.
shouldn't hurt innocent people.
Well, also that obviously.
Lawful.
Yep.
16,
Ooh, succeeds. Okay.
just enough.
I'm not deafened.
Yeah, but like she's like, yeah, and you can see that her lungbow's like trembling ever so slightly. Confidence.
I think at this, I'm gonna, seeing that both of these two people directly in front of us are severely wounded, and that the person in the back looked a little taken aback by that fact, I'm going to sort of peek around from under Ursion and say, "We have no quarrel with you. Lay down your arms and speak peacefully, or leave us be." Surrender.
Lieutenant, the one with the longbow is like, Lieutenant?
Do I need to make any sort of check or anything like that?
I mean, if y'all will let them. I didn't expect this to happen. Jesus, way to go, Simran. Gah. So
Sorry, not sorry?
the one with the the shield and like whose armor is just like ruined and like who's gushing blood, like this isn't worth it. And as right before Autry turns to leave, she kind of like looks at you, Ursion, once more and begins speaking in that strange language. And like, everyone make a sense motive check.
Pleasure.
I'll pass. Thank you.
You mean you'll fail?
Well, okay. All right. Well, in that case, I will roll. All right. How do you like that?
Ivor got a 10.
How do you like that 7, Chris? Huh?
Simran got an 8.
I got
7?
a 16. I rolled
Anyone
a 3.
Anyone higher than 10 recognizes.
Including
4.
10?
Yes, recognizes that she doesn't know what's going on. But so right before she leaves, with her, like, she's like really confused as to why she's speaking Infernal. New scene, you hear her say, "I'll figure out what you're doing, Ursion. I'll figure out why you left." And she turns, and the three of them exit.
I think I'm about to say something, and then I just like don't, because they've already turned around, and I can't think of anything witty, and I also really don't have anything to say. You know, like it's like a. And now I'm still gigantic, and I look down, which is always the awkward part at the end of the fight, where I'm still like 5 feet taller than everybody.
And
Ursian,
I'll dismiss
Are we out of initiative?
Yeah, they've
Okay.
left.
Ursian, I think there's something wrong with your ex-girlfriend. She
Well,
had
you
this
can-
look in her eyes like she didn't know what she was doing.
Is
She
it
also-
normal for Hell Knights to speak like that?
No, I mean, Infernal, never really got good at it, but I could understand some commands. We practice using the methods of devils because of their brutal and efficient military traditions, but the power she had is she never had that before,
And she never had a mind for languages either.
Oh, okay.
And now she's working for the Queen's Guard, when a week ago we saw her in the Hell Knight uniform.
Yeah, and she said like opportunity, right? Like this is something that she's moved up into, or is it possible the Queen is allied with the Order of the Nail, or
Well-
employing their people? This would make sense. I mean, that seems to make sense, but the Hell Knights have always stayed away from politics directly like that.
I don't know. It seemed like maybe she didn't know what she was getting into.
Yeah, well, none of us know what we're getting into. I just am tired of running into people.
Speaking
I care
of what
about.
we're getting into, what are we doing right now?
Hopefully, getting not. I'm probably standing out a little in the crowd. So, did you dismiss the spell again?
At this point, the crowds, especially after that fight, the streets where you are at are kind of empty, and everything seems to have calmed down.
I have a question, actually, also, Chris.
Mhm.
Did it strike me once we realized that it was, in fact, Autry, that the Queen actually had asked for us, or was that
That
just
was my
Autry
question.
looking for an excuse to get some FaceTime with Ursion?
It was probably an excuse.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, like her subordinates definitely seemed a little unsure about
But
it.
she mentioned the KAA by name, right? Like did we after, is that only after we presented ourselves? I can't recall. Like it just happened 30 seconds ago.
Well, also Atre knows who we are.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she would have reason to suspect that we were connected to Trinity and Blackjack because that's where we met her the last time.
Mm-hmm. It's like, have we ever identified ourselves? Are we getting a name, or are we known for it, or is it is the KA big enough to become on the radar of anyone at this point? I say out of character, obviously, because no one knows what a radar is in character.
Is the KIA big enough to be on people's radar like this, Confidence?
Thank you, Ivor.
What's radar?
What's a radar?
Oh my god.
I'm not sure. I mean, we have no reason to hide what we've been doing. We're doing good work for the city, and we're doing it in a way that can be acknowledged, that can help people.
Yeah, almost as much as Blackjack's doing, except that he saves people.
Since I missed the meeting with the Queen, what does the Queen know about the KIA?
That we're here to help the best interests of Corvo.
Okay, so there's no reason why the Queen would think that we were involved with anything. Trinia, Blackjack, or any of that.
Maybe we ought to discuss this somewhere else.
Get off the street, yeah.
But where? You can go back to my place. I mean, it's actually we're nowhere near here, but it's still on the table.
Yeah, we are we're in between Cliffside and Pillar Hill by the Marble Dome.
Close to the office.
Not far.
Do you want to just go to the office and lay low until...
I mean, I'll also understand if you want to go check in with your families, given the unrest.
Oh,
yeah, I would have imagined Corva would have been out for at least to witness the execution. I didn't see her though, did I?
It was a big crowd.
Okay.
There were the noble houses were set up in like pavilions, kind of taking in the show. They were all in plain view. But as far as the crowd goes, no, it's hard to spot people in it.
I'd rather go back to headquarters. That way we're sticking together. We can get off the street. And if someone who does have legitimate interest in dealing with us will know where to find us.
It's true. After all, Blackjack knows who we are, supposedly.
Blackjack knows.
I think it's probably pretty obvious that Confidence is really kind of peeved about the whole Blackjack thing. Just sort of being very huffy about it.
It's like, oh, Blackjack, huh?
Whatever.
Right, let's get out of the streets.
Okay.
So, after a good, I think about a 30 minute walk, we're back at the 2030, the Corvosan Intelligence Agency headquarters, aka Confidence's apartment. It's been renovated. This may be the first time some of you have seen it since the riots, since the anarchy happened.
No, we were there this afternoon.
Yeah, when Arceon and Confidence had their secret conversation that none of us overheard.
Secret.
That's right. So, it's been 45 minutes since we were last at the agent.
I only remember because I was editing that episode earlier. So.
There's been fresh anarchy since we've been there.
Has it been broken into again?
No, it has not.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank us.
Didn't buy those new locks for nothing.
You ripped through a CR6 encounter. Jeez. Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I've been tipping the scales a little bit, but I didn't all right, Okay.
It's a crit. Exceptions, crits are always exceptions to
Pathfinder.
3 words.
quadruple damage crit.
The card definitely, but still, all right. Okay.
Also, a crit in Pathfinder is bigger than the 5th edition, and we're using the 5th edition thing, like.
Yeah.
True.
Because modifiers are not added.
Yeah.
The quote.
That was an extra.
Yeah.
That was an extra 9 damage that wouldn't have been added in 5e.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like, it was epic.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to process it.
Yeah, Simran is slightly less tired than she was. She's like, it's been a long day, but okay, I'll take it.
I also took 17 damage from one hit, so I'm not looking so fantastic.
Yeah, that's true.
I got ripped through my own little in my way.
I was hoping to do a little more.
Yeah, me not so much.
We're so tapped out, Chris.
I know.
Like what else do you want from
Who wants us to bleed?
So we get back to headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What time is it around now?
It's only 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9:30, 10.
Okay.
You're all welcome to stay here. I know it's not exactly palatial, but I understand if things are a little tense out on the streets. And besides, I think we need to figure out what's going on here. Yeah. The unfortunate thing is that now there's no evidence of the Queen's wrongdoings. I mean, as awful as it sounds, and of course I'm very glad that whoever that poor woman was, she's all right. But if that execution had gone through and we were able to produce the real Trinia...
Confidence, hold on 1 second. Can someone quickly cast Detect Magic in the office?
Mm-hmm.
And she's just gonna walk around and do a kind of like a magic bug sweep.
Okay. There is nothing.
Okay, good. Just
at least no magical auras that would be out of the ordinary for you to detect. Unless Confidence, there's something you're keeping secret?
No.
Okay. So once she's done, someone says, "Okay, I don't think there's any spell or anything out here that someone might be able to listen in on. So I think we should be free to talk."
Whoa, that's weird. Like magic. Haha, got it.
Yeah.
And you were saying, without a corpse, we can't embarrass the Queen and demonstrate her evil act, and so now we're back to square one.
Well, it's just, if she is the root of this problem, we need a body of evidence to support that, literally or otherwise.
That's right.
She's been conveniently killing, or we helped exile the only evidence against her. The person who accused Trinia is dead. And there was no real evidence supporting that claim anyway, but obviously Queen didn't care. She needed a scapegoat, and so when we took her scapegoat away, she found another one.
Exactly. And the more we can get people to listen to us, and the more we can get people to trust us, when the time is right, we'll be able to prove it. Korvosa deserves to know the truth, but only when they will believe it.
Well, given what we just heard on the street, I think Korvosa might be more sympathetic to the truth than we thought.
Right. And she can't trot out a new Trinia because everyone saw that one. So for the time being, and we know now. We know for sure. So there's no, we were always on the fence, or we didn't know whether to trust her or not, or we suspected her. But now we know that there's something sinister at work. If not for the Patsy that she brought out, we also know that she may be in league with infernal powers who are, doing things to her servants to make them more compliant or more dangerous or something. There's way more going on. We have to figure it out.
So our main assumption here, I think, is that the Queen is trying to end the matter of the king's death, right?
Right.
Accusing Trinia, executing Trinia, that, put it to bed. Right. Now that she can't, execute another Trinia because Blackjack could, come back with this one. What is she going to do?
Right. This
Nothing
remain,
good.
This will remain on everyone's minds. She can't close the loop. She can't tie it up.
What's the plan B for ending the match? I mean, how now that everyone thinks that if they believe her, they think that the person who assassinated the king is now on the lam, right? Has now been saved by this vigilante and is just out there in Corvosa. Isn't that worse for what the queen is trying to do?
Exactly.
Oh, it's worse for the queen, for sure.
So what is she gonna do about it?
She might hunt down Blackjack, find out everything there is to know about this vigilante, and find her murderer and her enemy. We have to.
Absolutely, yeah, a bounty. Why wouldn't she put a bounty on both of them?
And
It's certainly possible. She could also, since she's clearly unconcerned with the truth, she could say the conspiracy went higher and say she's discovered the true mastermind who's been working with both Blackjack and Trinia all along. Someone like, say, the missing seneschal.
Oh,
right.
Forgot about the seneschal.
Neolandus
I didn't forget about
Calipopoulos.
I have never forgotten about him.
Here's the question.
No one said
We've seen 2 Blackjacks in less than a week.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, does it make sense that there might be at least 2, if not more of them? I mean, they knew that Trinia had been falsely accused and had shown up to help Trinia before we helped get her out. And they knew what was happening here and took action. So they're getting the same information somehow that we are through Cressida.
Or someone
else. They know what's going on, and if I don't know if they are there's going to be a bounty on Blackjack, whoever that may be. Do we try to help? It seems like we're on the same side on everything that's happened so far.
Right.
Perhaps.
And what about Rolf Lamb? What about the work that we were already doing? Do we let
That's another question.
Do we put that aside?
For the time being, we have done the urgent thing. I agree that Rolf Lamb is still a problem and that we should find him, since it seems like he's taking up his father's mantle, at least in certain respects.
And I'd like to say something. I have been wounded and mended those wounds and wounded again like 17 times. I pour more of my blood outside my body than inside right now. I could really use like a night's sleep to clear my head and get, maybe in the morning we'll have a better idea of what needs to be done, or we'll have more information, or something will have occurred that will make the right course of action more obvious.
I could use some food and sleep too, because
I'm like
eaten
dead
today?
on my sleep. Not.
I ate that moss that was glowing on the walls and
maybe we should try to get some actual food and some actual sleep and see if we can figure out what to do in the morning. I don't know.
Luckily, I'm so tired I can just sleep right. I don't I just kind of I fall down on not fall down, but I lean up against the wall. I'm like, this will do. I take the sword off, lay it down, and just kind of
Simran's been flexing her muscles all day. She needs protein. Just saying.
You are just saying. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can all stay if you like.
I think Ursine's already asleep.
I kind of go around the screen into the back office and pull out all the extra blankets. I feel like at this point I've probably invested in at least one human-sized bedroll from the number of times that this has happened. So I should start bringing that stuff out.
I think. Yeah. Okay.
I think Ivor goes to the window and kind of looks out to see if there's anything going on the street. And how how tall is the roof of this building? Are there like more apartments above yours, or is this like basically it?
This is it, I think, in this
Yeah.
part of town. There aren't any shingles over here, simply because with the market, it's unsightly.
In
So
that
the
case,
buildings don't get too tall.
Ivor is gonna kind of look back and like give Simran a pointed look that he thinks is very subtle, but like clear, and that no one else will notice. And then he's gonna kind of hop up onto the roof.
Whoa, cool.
big
So
deal.
Simran
Smooth.
is like, well, okay. I guess can I roll a sense motive check for me so I can decide what to do?
By all means.
Okay. For those curious, I rolled a 24.
Nice.
So Simran is, I guess, I don't know what Nusine is doing, but while Confidence is out there pulling a better roll out, Simran is just going to slip out the window and follow, curious as to why Ivor was giving her a pointed look to the roof.
So when you get onto the roof, you find Ivor just sitting on the roof, like with his legs kind of dangling off, swinging in the light breeze that he has created, kind of looking out and observing the city. And he says, "Oh, Simran, thanks."
Surprised to see me here?
No, yes, kind of, yeah. Actually, I kind of am.
What's up?
Ursian mentioned the seneschal,
Mm-hmm.
and I spent a lot of time thinking about him. Those few days when the KIA wasn't really active, I spent pretty much the whole time trying to find out whatever I could to try to search for him, because I think the Queen might try to accuse him, and if that happens, I don't know what happens to the Sable Company, and I don't know what happens to the city, but I also learned something, and it's something that I don't really want to tell Confidence and Ursian, because they're going to tell me not to do anything about it, and I don't really want to tell Nusine anything, to be perfectly frank. But I have this theory that the Seneschal escaped from Castle Corvosa through secret tunnels under it, through the Grand Masaba, that he would know about, because he's the Seneschal of Castle Corvosa. I mean, that's his territory. He would know everything. He'd know more than anybody else in the city. And so, what if he escaped and then came out somewhere else? And we just have to find him, and he's somewhere in the city, because nobody ever saw him leave the castle. So that must have been it. And I found out who knows the most about these tunnels and where they lead, and the places where they pop up in the city, and it's the Cerulean Society. So I was hoping you would go with me to talk to them.
I can come with you to talk to them.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the question. What do you think, if he's hiding, why do you think, well, I guess there's a couple of questions. Why did he go into hiding before any fingers were pointed at him to begin with?
What if he was a witness?
Yeah, maybe. And the second question is, isn't the fact that no one can find him, including us, probably keeping him safe right now?
Maybe it's keeping him safe for now, but maybe it's putting the city in more danger. And if we don't find him, the Sable Company isn't looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we're the only ones who would be looking for him, who would be doing it to protect him. Anyone else who's looking for him isn't going to do that. And so I'd rather we find him first.
And but I also don't think that I don't see why Confidence or Ursian would have a problem with us trying to find him. I mean, there's a lot going on, and so they might think that we should do something else first.
I don't think they want us talking to the Cerulean Society.
Why not?
Because it's a organized criminal guild.
Oh well. I mean, we just saw vigilantes save someone we couldn't. So I mean,
Also, I mean, I don't get the idea that they really want me talking to anyone. Not in like a persuasive or deceptive kind of way, at least.
listen, we can. Not everything is black and white, and we can say we don't have to say we're with the KIA. We can just be, I don't know, somebody you can say he's like a father figure to you, and that we're trying to get information because of that.
I mean, he kind of is, or more like a much older kind of eccentric uncle.
Yeah. And for a moment, a look passes Simran's face, and it's because she mentioned father figures, and it's very brief.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something Simran has not told Ivor, and but this is not the time, and so she's just gonna move past it, and I don't know if Ivor picks up on it,
No,
but it's very brief. But I don't. Yeah, Simran says that I'll go with you. I don't know when we're gonna have time to, but I understand that we should you need to make these moves before the queen starts making moves, because you're right, she's going to make some moves. She's probably incredibly pissed off right now, and if Ursion's ex goes and says that I helped cut some people down, that's not going to help the KIA look much better. So we're things are getting a little sticky.
thanks, Simran.
No worries. All right, let's go get some food and some rest. You need to rest up. You look like shit. And then she slips down and goes back into Confidence's office.
Ivor feels like happy and also kind of sad. She said he looks like shit. But okay.
I mean,
Better than nothing.
objectively speaking,
He's glowing.
Glowing.
he's down 12 points. Like, he's taking damage.
He looks rugged now. No, Ivor
Simran doesn't know how to deal with that.
Ivor looks out over the city one more time, you know, at the twisting streets and the tall buildings, sort of wondering which of these buildings could be the place where he's hiding. And then did you want to say something, Chris?
I imagine that we can see like the silhouette of, like, if you look westward, like because there's the castle is up on the Grand Mastaba, and then to the north, to the right, you can see up on top of the large hill is the academy. So there's the skyline silhouetted in the dark and the star. Yeah, I can see it.
And then Ivor sighs, and then he goes downstairs into the window. There are no stairs. He's on the roof.
Mm-hmm. Anything else before dawn?
Lucine is looking at Vrieg's spellbook.
Aha.
Perhaps making a selection. Might pick one or two, as Lucine will be up all night. But separately...
Oh, god dang it.
Yeah. Separately, we'll kind of take out a paper out of their notebook, and we'll have two columns. And one side, it'll be labeled infernal, and the other side it'll common, and we'll translate everything that Audrey had said, and we'll just hold on to it, waiting for the morning.
Okay. Morning comes. I imagine that there is some sleeping in that happens. There doesn't have to be, but in my mind, I don't know, like, unless anxiety, like, really kicks in, I don't know how you're waking up, like, with the dawn, per se.
Mm-hmm.
I think I get 4 hit points back. Woohoo.
There is that.
Ooh, I should pick my spells for the day.
None of this spending hit die action, right?
I think
Wait, you
probably
get more than 4 hit points back. Isn't
One
it
per level plus your con.
plus your con?
Yes, and you just muted yourself.
I'm sorry, you sure about that? I thought it was. I thought it was looking at it. I'll take
Do
it.
you have a
No,
con
it's
bonus of
1
more than
plus
0?
Uh-huh. That's
Yes.
absolutely correct.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's why my roommate got really upset when I did that rule, because she had a -1 con.
Oh.
So at level 1, she's not healing overnight.
Oh no.
Bummer.
Wow.
So new scene is working uninterrupted. Perhaps there are some snores here and there.
I would
For
imagine.
sure.
When you hear a knock, new scene.
At what time is this?
Let's call it 9 o'clock.
I would
Let's.
probably also be awake, like doing prayers and
You
stuff.
spend an hour meditating,
Yeah.
praying. Got it. Yeah, you want to get those spells prepared before the
Yeah.
action goes
Oh
off.
yeah,
I don't
Simran was
actually have
also
to
preparing
prepare
spells.
spells, but yeah.
You
pick
do.
spells.
That's spending that time. Yeah.
Ivor's making waffles.
So everyone's up and about, right? Perhaps when a knock comes at the door.
Nusin will kind of, I guess, get up from the door and look at Confidence and just be like, "Are you expecting anyone?"
No, but this is a place of business. As I like furiously start tying up my hair.
Okay, then Nusin will place their body about like a foot, in front of the door, exactly, and then we'll go ahead and crack open the door, knowing that they weigh 200 pounds, and like small or like any regular person shouldn't be able to push them aside.
Hello, good morning. There is a young blonde man behind the door. He looks familiar. And as he sees your face, he's like, I'm looking for
Yes.
the commissioner.
Oh,
Is this the Corvosan Intelligence Agency? No.
yes. Confidence. Yeah.
Just a second. I finished putting on my coat. Like,
And I stay at the door. I don't like open it more or let him come in.
Mm-hmm.
after a second, I kind of scuttle up behind Lucy. Do I recognize this person?
As soon as you see him, and as soon as he sees you, you're both like, whoa. This was the young man that the crowd was attacking the first day of the riots, a little over a week ago.
Oh, when I got that dank sickness.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Nusine, he gave you a ring, and I feel like Nusine has it.
That's
I don't know.
right. The noble dude.
Yes. Amin. A-M-I-N. Amin Gelento. But this is, you're the agency?
Yes, were you expecting someone else?
It's just a surprise. I didn't realize I was saved by officials.
Ask him if he wants waffles.
Would you like to come in and discuss whatever business you have inside our offices? You'll have to forgive the state of things. We had a late work engagement last night. Or still getting everything in shipshape, but do come in, sir.
Is that so? I'm sorry. I'm merely delivering a message.
Who from?
Vencarlo Orsini?
Oh, yes, I've heard of him.
Yes. I attend his school. After what happened, I decided it was time to learn some self-defense.
Fair enough. As long as you also learn to use it prudently.
I hope so. He's certainly teaching me a lot.
But what's the message then?
He hands you a note. And he nods. thank you again. I'm glad we got to see each other once more.
I just sort of smile and I say, I think I'm supposed to ask you if you want waffles.
He can have a to-go bag.
With some powdered sugar?
What? How rich do you think we are?
Oh, never mind. All right.
Look, they're delicious plain.
Okay, all right. That's the yeasted ones. And he nods, thank you. And then he exits, having handed you the note.
Yeah. I'm gonna crack it open. I am gonna hold it up so that Nusine doesn't have to lean down to read it over my shoulder, as I know she's going to do anyway.
Fair enough.
The note reads, My friends, I hope this note finds you in good health in these dangerous times. In light of the recent unrest, I feel that I could provide some tips on self-defense to adventurers such as you, and would be most gratified to meet with you for these lessons offered gratis at Orsini Academy, 16 Hillcrest Street. I eagerly await your arrival this morning. Bencarlo Orsini.
I'm gonna look over at Simran and say, we've been offered free lessons with the foremost blade master in the city.
Oh, I'm down.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to learn some tricks that I don't know what he knows about.
It might be a good opportunity to ask him about Sabina Marin as well.
Mm.
He trained her after all.
There has to be a reason why he's offering these classes, and I think we should go find out.
Yeah.
He may
look
just want
over
to
it.
talk to us.
Ivor and say, maybe you can learn to use that dagger, Ivor.
Oh yeah, you mean this one that I'm always holding in my hand? They don't know that it's supposed to be in some kind of sheath?
Yeah, like, how many people did Ivor accidentally stab yesterday?
I'm like, he's like using it to like get the waffles out of the waffle iron, you know?
Did any of the daggers that we picked up that are in the handy haversack have sheaths on them?
Yes.
Okay, Simran's gonna get one of those out and hand it over to Ivor.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Where's on your belt?
It's a waffle holder.
Oh, sorry. He like
don't
fastens
want-
it to his belt.
I don't want you cutting yourself accidentally.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
With that, let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Dear viewers, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We hope you are enjoying the stream so far, and we will BRB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're back. It is the morning, Monday morning. Mondays, am I right? The 27th of Erastus, July, the year 4710. And we're at the Corvosan Intelligence Agency with an invitation
waffles.
to head to Orsini Academy in Old Corvosa.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Let's go.
I think I probably, before we leave, pull out from the handy haversack the small masterwork dagger and short sword so that I can actually participate in this, or look like I'm going to participate in this.
So it's going to take about a little over an hour to walk up there. It is in Old Corvosa, up on Garrison Hill, which is actually like one of the oldest parts of Corvosa itself. It's also one of the richest parts. While Old Corvosa is mostly has the poorest of Corvosa, it also has some of the richest people. Thus, why most of Old Corvosa is crammed full of people. But yes, eventually you get to Orsini Academy, located at 16 Hillcrest Street. A sign is hanging from the front door that says "Classes canceled today."
Oh,
It's a
Well,
trap.
we have a special invitation. I'm sure it doesn't apply to us. And
You may have
I
canceled them for us.
Yeah.
knock on the door.
After a moment, Ben Carlo opens the door. It's been a while since we saw him. I don't remember when it was out of game, but in game it was a little over a week ago when we first went to Citadel Volshniak to meet with Field Marshal Cressida Croft. She and him were speaking. That was when she sent you off to the Game Spiders.
Mm-hmm.
He is an older man, long white hair in a ponytail, wearing a like a poofy white blouse, honestly, and like tight black leather pants, and he's looking quite serious. Come in.
We'll walk in.
Thank you for coming. I recognize my note is a tad cryptic. He's looking at you.
I'm gonna say we came fully prepared to hear whatever it is you have to teach us, sir.
I brought a knife.
This way, please. And as he's leading you through the halls of the school, it's quite ornate, like through this large room with these like long mirrors. It looks like a dance studio almost, but you can see hanging on the walls are mostly rapiers, as well as like some other thin blades. Late last night, someone dropped off a gift, most precious. And as he turns into his office, standing behind the desk, you see the young blonde woman that Blackjack saved last night.
Well.
Oh.
Shit.
Hello?
Hello. I'm glad to
Hello.
see you well.
Please. Then Carlo shuts the door and asks you to be seated.
Does it look like there might be anyone else in this room who is in some way any evidence of that?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I doubt I would be able to see someone invisible, but you never do know. I rolled a 21, which is okay.
Confidence scans the room. Doesn't notice anything like that.
So you know Blackjack?
I have had encounters with him before, long ago, when I was a younger man, Ben Carlo says. No doubt you recognize the young lady here. Oh, I'm Sarah, she says, just kind of like, very awkward.
Nice to meet you, Sarah.
I had only just, I'm trying to find his accent. I had only just reached my home last night after Her Majesty's morbid gala, when the troublemaker Blackjack and this woman arrived at my doorstep. The people's hero, he like does air quotes. While it's been some years since I've seen him, he was quick with his words and soon swooped off. But not before entrusting Miss Sarah to my care. Although I don't know Blackjack's motives or politics, I trust his judgment, and I've seen much right done by his...
So how can we help you with this incriminating act of treason, as it were?
Well, he says this young woman is innocent. I am. I'm not even the Trinia you spake of. And he nods like.
Yeah.
The matter is simple. I have some friends in a certain society that provide a service. Troubled young children, teens, young adults that need to leave the city quickly, we send them off. If you could take Miss Sarah here north of Corvosa, out of town. I have some friends waiting for her to take her to Harse. And Sarah's like, whoa. Something's happening.
Sorry, someone's shooting out fireworks outside my building.
Dang it! Like
New York
the
City.
founding festival was last week. Why are people still doing this?
Yeah, it's literally been like every day.
Ah.
I'm so sorry, you guys. It's probably gonna go on for like half an hour.
The problem, the Queen's Grey Maidens have stopped here. They've already come by this morning.
So you think they were watching you?
I have always been open with my distrust of the crown. I've only just been barely able to turn them away without a search.
So we too have kind of ran afoul of that particular organization recently. So is she any safer with us than with you? I look over confidently like, what are we supposed to do, boss? Look on my face.
I think I'm just sort of looking at Orsini. Is he? How much of what he's saying about like, oh, I don't really know Blackjack? Like, how true does that seem to be?
Make a sense motive check.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like, why would he drop him off with her? Or her with him, rather. Oh my god. I rolled another 3. 16.
6. It's clear that he's nervous, and that he's glossing over some of his more storied history with Blackjack, and for the sake of like expediency.
Mm-hmm. I'm not looking at him and saying, Blackjack, if we're gonna help you, I want information on Blackjack and on Sabina. You know them both.
Sabina? Right? What information would you want on her?
Well, let me put it to you this way. The Grey Maiden's development. We're interested in the forces at work in the city. We have reason to believe that perhaps the Grey Maidens take certain recruitment liberties, and I want to know more.
I can promise you a conversation. That much I can offer. It's been some years since I last saw Sabine, and I know she went to the castle, and well, I suspected that she had a hand in this. But for now, it is best that Sarah gets out of the city quickly. I have one of my society contacts waiting for you in Trail's End with a horse and wagon. You will take her north to Trotz. Knowledge? Geography?
Oh, you know it.
Of course!
Lucy!
Wait, I have knowledge geography too!
I don't
Wait,
have knowledge.
I know where this place is! I know this!
You got this? I rolled a 10. You got this, Ivor?
Ivor.
Oh.
I rolled a natural 1!
No.
So it's a 2!
The word society got you too excited.
New scene. You know that Trotz is a small town on the path
Chris.
north
Oh, never mind.
to Harse.
Ignore me.
Small town. It's like a 2-horse town with barely an inn.
Okay.
But it's got an inn.
Okay.
Should take on a horse and wagon. Should take a couple hours to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of look over Ursine and say, we're gonna have a conversation. And the next time that Blackjack comes around, you're gonna tell him that I want to talk to him. Okay?
I promise. I will.
Good.
Can
And
I talk to him? Can I talk to him too?
Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, by me I meant the KIA.
I just
Sorry.
feel like it'd be cool if you could introduce. That'd be great.
Naturally.
Thanks. Sorry.
Big fans.
So, are we not getting free sword fighting
I was
lessons?
gonna ask.
Because I brought this dagger with me specifically for this purpose. But like,
Mm.
I understand if you're
My friends,
too
from
important.
what I know, you have no need of my education.
Oh.
I
Even
really
gets a little
don't know
red
how
in
to
the
use
cheeks.
this thing. I like really don't. I think you stabbed them with this end. Am I holding this right?
Put it away.
He just like looks at one of you like, come get your friend.
Simran will step in and just like take the dagger out of Ivor's hand. Be like, "I'll teach you how to use this later."
Whoa.
Will you?
Whoa.
Will you?
Jeez, it's getting
But
hot
for
in
now,
here.
she puts it back in your sheath.
Oh,
Hey.
hey, there you go.
Oh God.
Oh,
Oh,
please.
is it hot in here?
I'm so afeared. Please, Marm. She turns to you, confidence. Please.
Marm?
First off, if we're gonna get you out of here, you need to maintain your composure. I know you're scared, but we're gonna do our best to keep you safe. We
Okay.
kind of turn to everyone else and we need to disguise her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then Carlo like kind of turns and he like offers up little like a brown cloak, traveling cloak. It's something.
It's a start.
Hair. We've to. We're looking. Everyone's looking for a blonde-haired woman.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Like, can we like scrounge up some stuff in Orsini place to try and disguise her with, or like run out to the market and grab something and try and work up a rudimentary disguise?
I mean, Van Carlo's very proud of his white hair, so he definitely doesn't have any like hair dye.
Well, he
near
might
him.
have like lamp
Sheep
black.
Hey!
We could
I
get
can
rid of her hair.
prestidigitation her hair a different color.
Yes, you
Oh.
could.
Good
Mhm.
idea.
Because it says I can color
Yeah.
items in a 1 foot cube each round, and the effect will last for an hour. So I'll just have to keep re-upping it,
That's not
and I
terrible.
can't change.
That might even get you out of town, to be
Mhm.
perfectly honest. That one casting.
Can you prestidigitation her bangs? Because it'll totally change the shape of her face, and then no one will recognize her.
Mm-hmm. I
Except
heard
doesn't
that.
Trinia actually have bangs?
Can you prestidigitation her not to have bangs? Because it'll totally change the shape
Well,
of her face, and then no
here's
one
the
will
thing.
recognize her.
Well,
Let's
I
color
mean-
her hair and confidence. How about you braid it?
Sure.
Let's braid it out of her face and
So-
just change
so
it up
sh-
a little bit.
She's like kind of like touching the back where you all see that like her hair's been like chopped.
Oh,
It was so long before. Oh.
hair
I'm just
grows
gonna
back.
kind of like give her a pat on the back and say, trust me, I understand. It's important. It's a part of you.
But hey, hair grows back, and where we're taking you, you'll be able to grow it back as long as you need to.
All right.
Okay. All right, let's get to work.
So yeah,
Mhm.
roll. So who's leading the disguise check, and then if you want to aid, you can.
We have to be trained in it, right?
I'm not.
That might be a house rule. That might. I don't know. Maybe you don't have to be trained to do the aid. You definitely don't have to be trained to roll disguise.
Uh,
All right, confidence. I'm gonna let you do it since I'm just doing prestidigitation.
I have a +2.
Aid another. I think you can just if you can use the skill,
I'll-
you can just do it.
I'll try and help.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm actually gonna try to get a sword fighting lesson while this is alive.
No.
I really wanted to.
Or I'm gonna practice in the practice area and try out some swords. Ooh. this
All
one's
right.
fun.
I aid.
So that gives me an additional +2, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm also gonna cast guidance on myself. before I do this.
Good call.
The Bankly Glow of
Oh
Gold.
no!
Oh, no,
I rolled a natural one.
Oh!
For a total of, there are no natural crits or fails with skills. It is the worst possible result, but total of what?
6.
6?
I don't think this is one of the things I get to reroll.
I think it just looks like she has Trinia written across her forehead.
Well,
But her hair is
we have magic.
black.
So luckily the cloak is long enough that like it just kind of like drapes over her, just covering most of her features.
Right now she looks like
Is this-
Trinia with black hair.
For my future reference, Chris, is this the kind of situation in which we could take 10?
On disguise. Let's look at the skill description.
Thank you, because I don't really understand how that whole shebang works, and probably that might have been the smarter thing to do.
There's so much.
No, so a disguise you cannot take 10 on. You only get
Alright,
one
well.
disguise check per use of the skill. We're not trying to disguise her. We're only doing minor details, which then nets you a +5 bonus.
Oh.
actually.
Oh!
So it's an 11.
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on the familiarity, recognize on sight, people will get a +4 to the perception bonus if they're rolling. But I don't even know if they'd recognize her on sight, let alone
Right.
Trinia.
Mhm.
So 11 is an average check. We brought it up to average. Fair. So that's definitely enough for, but only if it's determined the disguise is badly applied. Okay, thank you, Veldrin. If someone like makes a perception check, and then they can try again. Got it. But for our purposes, it should be fairly
enough.
simple. How are we gonna get her out of the city? We need to get to Trail's End.
Well, from Old Corvosa, wouldn't the most efficient way just be to get a boat?
By all means.
Get someone to just row us across the river?
Before we do that, have Simran will ask Orsini like if he's heard of there being roadblocks or searches or any like what the queen has been doing to find Trinia.
Nice.
Good one.
From what I know, the Grey Maidens are searching, patrolling the streets.
All right, so street patrols mainly, not
Mm-hmm.
searches of boats or anything.
I don't
you've
know
heard?
if I would definitely would not recommend any escapes through the air. It'd be too flashy.
Mm-hmm.
But also, otherwise, we'll have to go across
Consider that.
North.
He
We'll have
looks
to
at
go
you
across
with
the
the
bridge.
Sable Company's scarf on. That is the bridge. But your idea of a boat, I think, would be most wise.
Okay.
I mean, Simran, if you want, I can look around and see if anything's being watched.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want to know what we're walking into.
See if anyone has seen unusual security precautions that we should try to
Yeah,
avoid.
like if there's a checkpoint or something that everybody leaving the city has to be searched. I mean, then we'd find a way around it, but I'm just curious. It might be too soon for any of that.
Not necessarily. It's very wise. Shall I have a look?
I think that'd be good.
All right, I'm gonna sort of sit down so I don't fall over, and grab the piece of powdery brick out of my pocket, and my eyes roll back in my head as I start praying, and I'm gonna cast Eyes of the Street. Or Ears of the Street.
Eyes and ears of the street.
Yeah.
So confidence
Best spell ever.
almost astrally projects into her mind space, her mindscape of the city of Corvosa.
So,
Yes, make your first roll, please.
gather information. All right.
For those who don't know, Ears of the Street is a spell. Ears of the Street that lets her gather information checks very quickly, rather than the several hours that it normally takes.
I always picture it like the Batman, like phone
Dark Knight.
camera spying thing from the Dark
Yeah.
Knight.
So the first
super not creepy. The first check was a 21.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure out any like roadblocks or checkpoints that anyone has.
So like and like all of a sudden there's this maybe 7-year-old street urchin, and she's looking up at you, and she's holding like a raggedy teddy bear, and she's like, "Well, the Corvosan god, the Gaiden, the guarding the North Bridge, but from what I hear, Gold Market's pretty still calm."
Hmm.
Okay, what else do we know? I selfishly want to know if anybody saw like Blackjack when he was dropping off Sarah.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Oh, I only rolled a 16.
No, just like a series of no, sorry, no.
Ugh. All right, I get 2 more exhaustively.
Oh no, this is per level, isn't it?
Yeah, it surely
this is only gonna
is.
get worse.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Fun stuff.
Mhm.
Kind of, if there's anything. Oh gosh, I should have asked you guys about this before I did this, shouldn't I?
We'll just enjoy.
If there have been any issues like specifically on the river, I guess, just
Okay.
in case, double check that. 25.
25. No. Any naval travel seems to be pretty clear. Not only are from what you've seen, it's mostly the Corvosan Guard who are maintaining that like the perimeter. So let's say you kind of like fly over the water as you're like, looking and asking people, but it's all magic. So you can see like guard on the North Bridge, just like letting people pass, not really examining or questioning folks. And you also just know that the Corvosan Guard and the Sable Company don't. I'm sorry, and the Grey Maidens don't have the naval power. It's all in the Sable Company Marine,
Yeah, it is.
who conveniently aren't seen in the skies today.
Then I think I'm just going to do a. I guess I'm just gonna like look and see if there's like any like sailor or fisherman or something who would be known for their like discretion and perhaps also not being super into the crowd, who we could maybe trust to get a boat from, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we can't just, walk up and steal one. Oh, Boise. That's a natural one. You know what? I'm going to invoke Blessed Correction and re-roll that.
Blessed correction.
Yes. Well, not that much better, but it is a 19.
Everyone knows about old Captain Jack down at the Sticky Mermaid.
Oh. Ooh.
You know what they say that
I wish I
Captain
didn't
Jack
have
will
to know
take you
that.
home tonight.
Nope. Is there any way I don't... Yeah, do I
I
have
know
to...
we have a duty to help this woman and get her out of the city, but at what cost?
There goes my... just no... okay. So, you come too?
Yep. It seems like the path out of the city is pretty clear. There are some Corvosan Guard watching the North Bridge, but they're not. Our heart doesn't seem to be in it. But still, if we take a boat, no one's really going to notice us. Not even passersby on the street. I still think it's the best option. There's this Someone down at the Sticky Mermaid we might be able to ask.
The what?
It's a sailor bar.
That's a name.
Not far from here either.
No. No, trust me, all sailor bars have names like that.
I believe you.
Worth a shot.
Yeah.
In fact, it's about a 20-minute walk from here on the northern edge of Old Corvus.
Okay.
Okay.
That seems doable.
So we're gonna go see if we can find some seamen down at the Sticky Mermaid who can help us.
Oh no.
Well, what do you guys mean?
I'm sure it'll be everywhere.
Okay,
No.
I don't understand.
I'm too young for this.
Ah!
You're a 17-year-old boy. You're really not.
But like,
Okay.
I don't want to.
There's so many words I'm not going to say right now.
Look, guys, I don't think this is really an appropriate workplace conversation.
Your boss. All right, we make our way.
Yeah,
To the Sticky Mermaid we
we'll
go.
hustle Sarah out of there.
So, and then
Let's get this
Carlo
over
will
with.
he'll take the moment. Thank you, and like each of you as you pass by, he'll take the moment to shake your hand, and, like look into your eyes, and be like, "Thank you, thank you."
Nusim will go last and will just say, they were very disappointed by the lack of lessons. Perhaps you can make it up to them.
I shall keep that in mind.
Hmm.
I think that Ursian takes a pretty protective like stance near this woman. Like he's like doing like he feels like he, he's been past this like duty from Blackjack himself. So he's kind of like, oh, I'm part of the resistance too. And he's eyeing some of his colleagues who are like, oh, we'll help her out now that like we can, which is a logical thing to think. But Ursian's kind of like, oh, now you want us to help her out? Okay, she's no longer just like a sacrifice that has to be made. So he's being a little
Salty.
obnoxiously righteous about it, probably.
Mhm.
Just a touch.
I think as we go, I'm gonna recommend that we like try and be stealthy, but in the more like fly casual way than in the we're gonna run from shadow to shadow way.
Sure. And no rolls necessary. You don't spot any Grey Maiden patrols. Maybe you pass by a Corvosan patrol. And if anything, if they look towards your group, they're like, "Good morning," and like continue on their way.
So
So it's not long before we head to the old docks, and we see the Sticky Mermaid. There's like a sign hanging out front of this.
No, sorry, I was literally just want to be like, what does that sign look like?
I know, I'm trying to figure that out myself. I think she is a mermaid underwater, and she's very busily trying to spread jam on toast and having a lot of trouble with it.
oh, that's
That
so
is the
sweet and
least
wholesome.
sexual interpretation of the name that you possibly could have come up with. So,
Speak for yourself.
thank you.
It
Speak
will
for
be
yourself,
the
Sylvia.
only part of the interior or the establishment that is such.
Oh no!
So
Luckily, you
Ira
don't
takes
have to.
a deep breath and was like, okay, we'll be fine.
Luckily, you don't have to go in. For old Captain Jack is out there because it's right on the dock, so you can see his very small schooner. Those have sails, right?
Mhm.
And he's like swabbing the decks.
All right, confidence. It's all you.
Yeah. I don't
Ahoy the
know.
ship.
A human man with like a paunch, like quite the beer belly, and it's like his white like naval shirt is like unbuttoned halfway. And it's just like sticking out in the summer sun.
As we kind of come up on the dock, I say,
Hot.
ahoy the ship.
Ahoy! What be ye landlubbers wanting from old Captain Jack?
We just need to get to Trail's End. We figured it was a nice day for a sail.
Ah, 'tis a nice day indeed. Trails end, you say? I was about to go dwarvish with that. Now I can't do anything else. Simple 5 gold will pay for the journey.
Wow, that's steep. I don't say that. No, sorry, that's Liza, not.
Captain Jack don't come cheap, pray lady.
I'm gonna say.
Negotiate.
I'm gonna kind of like look over his boat within a sort of an appraising eye, because I am a sailor.
Of course you are. Do you have skill ranks in it yet?
I do.
Oh yeah, profession sailor roll. That's the best.
Go for it.
Yar. Ye be
Yar.
it.
I'm just waiting until I get to use my profession scribe skill.
Yes.
I can use my profession soldier skill.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't take ranks in profession babysitter because I didn't think I'd be able to roll for
Natural
it.
20
Oh,
for a 27.
yeah.
Yes,
It's
this
a
ship
different
is,
profession.
not only is this ship river worthy, it's sea worthy as well. It is a bit old, but it natural 20 for what was the total?
27.
27. 10 to 1. It's got some. I mean, you guess it anyway, but just by looking at the size and the shape and as the way it's sitting in the water, there's some smuggling holds in there as well. He kind of like watches you, like sensing and he just kind of leans in under his breath. I don't be rightly thinking. Damn it. I'm not thinking that you're in much of a state to negotiate, my friend. And he turns and he looks at the cloaked figure of Sarah.
And I'm going to shrug and say, it's been a while since I've been out on the water. I'll happily pay for the privilege.
Very nice then. And he
And
goes
I'll
and he
pull
like
out 5 gold.
he just kind of grabs it and then he starts like jumping around and he's like, come on, all aboard.
And obnoxiously drop the coins one by one into his hand.
But yes, it is a very lovely ride across the river. Let's say about 30 minutes over to Trails End. By this point,
It's a little bit faster than that because the wind is just really helping us.
I don't know where this breeze came from, but I'm sure you're appreciative of it. That's Captain Jack's touch.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, must be the blessings of Abadar, and look over and wink at Ivor.
Sure. Perhaps Gozray has blessed our days today.
I think I'm going to spend the voyage like trying to reassure Sarah by like telling her stories of like being on the boat with my dad, like all the places that we would sail to, like just trying to distract her so that she's not as nervous.
Oh, I did quite a bit of sailing before I got here from Cheliax.
Oh, really?
Only been in the city for a few weeks.
Well,
I could make a name for myself.
How did they find you?
I was working in the kitchens at the castle as a scullery maid.
Ooh.
So they saw your hair color and thought, good enough?
They didn't really say anything at all. And she's like trying whoa, Captain Jack's here. She's trying to like just like keep her head down and bring her voice back down.
What were you gonna make a name for yourself doing?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought everyone in Cheliax is, everyone's already cemented. There's no room to grow, and well, out here in the wilds of Varisha, well, I thought.
Yeah, and you know what? That's especially true in the wilds of Varisha, i.e. not in Corvosa.
From where I'm from, this might as well be the wilds. But, I mean it's pretty savage so far.
Fair.
This is a little-
Harsh, but fair.
A little more than usual, and I really am sorry that this was your introduction.
I thought I had left the tyrants in Cheliax.
Yeah, well, we imported a few.
Yeah, there are tyrants everywhere when good people let them exist.
Captain Jack's foot is on the side of the ship, and the aft just kind of steering the rudder as it's sailing, and it's looking out of the corner of his eye. But you make it to Trail's End, and he tips his hat as you all step off. There, the very northern end. He mentioned that there are Ben Carlo mentioned that there's a stable where his contact is waiting.
All right, we'll keep an eye out to see if there's anything hinky about, and we'll go there.
Can we remind Captain Jack to forget that we ever saw us? If you'd like me to threaten him, it'd be my pleasure, but maybe.
I don't think
It's a
that's
guarantee with every ride from Captain Jack. And he takes a swig of rum.
Wow.
We're not the first people that man has smuggled across the river, and we will not be the last.
Well, hope not.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Card.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said, we look
Right.
around,
The
make sure
contact.
nothing's hinky, and go wait for the contact.
Keep an eye out, see if anyone is
the-
shifty following us.
Yeah.
As you move. Oh, sorry.
No, just seeing if anyone was following us
Okay.
or anything.
I mean, at this point, you're there's barely anyone around.
Right.
It's pretty quiet. And when you move over to the stable in question, you see that the contact, there's somebody waiting there already.
I think as we're walking up and up from the docks, I'm chatting with Ivor, also keeping an eye out. But just been if the rest of this somehow resolves itself, you could really make a good life for yourself on a boat. That's a good trick.
Yeah, I'm not sure the sea is really for me, but it does come in handy.
Scott, can you describe this woman for us?
Oh, yes. This is a, at first glance, probably mistaken for a dwarf, though her skin is kind of a pale gray, and looks like a polished marble. She has stormy eyes and a thick black braid running down her back. She is dressed in very expensive, almost delicate clothing and a very wide-brimmed hat, which she is probably fanning herself with in the the hot sun. She glances
Simran.
up.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize Bazrin.
Simran will try very hard not to recognize, not to make it obvious, but she's definitely smiling.
Okay, so we approach and say, Ursine steps forward, hand on the sword. So you're the one that we're meeting then.
And
You made this choice!
So
you totally made this choice.
so Bazrin looks up and says, wow, is it that obvious? Can I speak to the, how do I say, no offense, love, the not moronic one of your group? That would be for the best for all of us and move us along quick.
How? Ouch.
It looks over at Ivor yeah, not you. Okay, the
That
half
one.
yes.
Yes.
The little one.
Yeah, I was
She says, who's not particularly that much taller than you, probably 6 inches, 8 inches
I think I'm
taller.
probably gonna put both and who exactly are you?
Well, I think
Simran is very busily braiding the bottom of her braid.
let's just say, the less we know of each other, the better. I would expect you should know that as well. Yeah, and when we are tortured, we can't be able to give too many details away. I'm kidding. There will be no torturing. We'll never get caught. We're very good at this, aren't we?
I'm gonna look this person up and down. Who comes in here, insults my friend? Information. Nah.
Nah.
Is this the person we're actually waiting for? Is also I guess the question of what I'm trying to determine. Like,
Definitely.
Simran mumbles as she's braiding her hair. I think we can trust her.
Oh.
That's a 33% motive.
Yeah.
It's a natural 20?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Simran, roll a bluff.
Oh, I thought she was making that a...
No, she was. Simran, roll a bluff.
Oh, me? Oh, God.
Yeah. Like, this natural 20 goes, like,
Oh.
again, no automatic successes with, what was it?
Skills, right?
This is 17.
17.
Mm.
Mm.
That's a straight roll for Simran. She is not a good
So-
liar.
I think that as you look at Bazrin, you're examining, and Simran like says that behind you. There's something in Simran's voice that says she knows something. Maybe it's just a feeling. Maybe she's just feeling something, but something's happening with Simran. You also recognize that Bazrin knows who at least some of your party is. Knows who some
Are.
of your people are. Yes.
Yeah. Look at her. Fine. The sooner we get going, the better. You have the cart?
Yes. Kaladi, bring it around for them. There is coming around is a similarly shaped figure, but much taller with a thick white braid going down her back. She stands several inches taller than Ursian and is leading the donkey with one hand and dragging the cart with the other. And Bazrin's like, no, you put the mule drags the. You really can't find good help these days, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sure you can figure it out. I have my friend might be rivaling your friend for unintelligence, but they have other purposes, do they not? And she says, patting her this large figure with like affectionately the looming kind of figure like kind of smiles non-committally and like hands the reins to whomever will take them.
To whomever will take them.
I guess Ursian does.
Wait, are we...
Nucine will gladly take as well.
I was gonna say, I assumed Nucine would be like all up in Kaladi's grill.
Yeah, just mostly just Nucine kind of approaches very like almost bewildered and is just like, thank you for your honesty. Is that yours?
We have an agreement. You're a smart girl, aren't you?
Yeah, that's.
I should have been talking to you if you could get like 4 or 5 sentences out of your mouth before you start stumbling over them. But I feel like I'm being overly offensive. I've had quite a long day. I was not expecting to call on these favors, and I generally have people to do this sort of thing for me. But I've been told this was a sensitive matter, and so if I am grumpy, it's only because I have to deal with your sort. This is coming out.
I am
wrong.
surprised they
apologize.
picked such an insensitive person for such a sensitive matter.
It's a hard
Ha!
world, and so
Good one, confidence.
okay, very nice. Ooh, very. Yes, we're all impressed. So if you would like to be on your way, and we will part ways as friends, and I never saw you, and you never met me, and we will go about our business.
Well, nice to never meet you.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I haven't had experience like this since the academy. It was great to meet you.
The pleasure is one that has never happened.
So long.
Get on the
Stay
cart.
safe. Stay safe on those streets.
I think we'll be okay. Kaladi, shall we? And they move back. They start strolling, sauntering almost back towards the city.
I'm just gonna very pointedly, as we're all getting in the cart, look back and like catch Simran's eye and just kind of raise my eyebrows like, I know there's something you're not telling me, but I'm not gonna say it.
Simran's like, I love weird people.
I was gonna say, that is a blessing for all of us.
You see Ursian looking back like that is a very, very strong looking woman.
7
She's
feet
great.
tall.
Yeah. That's when he notices is that she has another set of arms, like kind of like behind her back, hidden in this kind of disguisey looking.
I was wondering.
Yeah. That is very unusual. You like Ursian, sorry. I gotta change character. Ursian looks at it and says, like, so are like, is that like a magic person? Like, do you know what, like, is that like a magic person?
Oh, absolutely. They're one of the most common. Then probably the most improved or perhaps attentive. They're summoners. That creature is she kind of made a deal with it, and she can kind of bring it out whenever she wants. It's
Wow.
it's fascinating. They make a
You see-
deal, and there's limitations to both, but
Nusine, would you like to roll knowledge plane?
absolutely. Why
Can I
would I
roll
not
knowledge
want to roll a
planes?
knowledge plane?
Yeah, or by all means.
I've got planes.
I'm
I know
insulted I
about
was even
stuff.
asked. 18 for Nusine.
Is that enough?
Probably not.
I'm just gonna roll this, but I don't think Simran's gonna say anything.
Okay.
That's a natural 1 for her anyway. Ha ha ha.
Ursian got a 15.
15. I'll give it to Nusine. You definitely think that she made a deal with some sort of Earth outsider.
Mhm.
Earth-based outsider. For sure.
Okay.
But I think that much you'd be able to tell. But like the subtype, if you will.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And clearly the fact that it's humanoid as opposed to like
Yes.
monstrous, and then extra limbs, so you can kind of see that what values they have together.
So I'm gonna, as Nusine's gonna like excitedly explaining it, the camera like fades up, and we see the sun move forward, and in the late afternoon, close to sunset, we can see the town of Trotz up ahead. There's an inn, as Carlo has told you about. It's a 12-mile journey. The inn is, you actually, as you pull up, you realize it's not the town of Trotz, it's the inn of Trotz. 'Cause that's it. It's a roadside inn. There is a wide-grinning, barrel-chested man who's kind of like perched up outside with his arms crossed. Dark tan skin, black mustache, goatee, and short cropped black hair like a Caesar's. And as he definitely like stands up as you see the wagon approaching, and he's got his hand on a pole. You don't see anyone else like out and about, but there are a few wagons and horses like, parked in the nearby stables. So you'd assume that there are some guests inside. And as you pull up, he like raises a hand and introduces himself. Hi, I'm Jason, who Carlo mentioned. It's the person who will take her the rest of the journey. And he just walks up to you all.
Okay. I look at Confidence for like her usual appraising. Is this someone we can trust or someone
That's exactly what I'm doing.
like
You
chop
know
him
me
in half,
well.
chop him in half, or trust him?
Look him over, make sure he seems on the level.
Hold that roll.
Okay.
As you're looking him over, you look up, and through the open door of the inn, you see Trinia's face peek around the corner, and she runs out to all of you. Oh my gosh! Well, I knew it one day we'd see each other again. Wow! Wait, no, please, no!
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I see them coming quickly though. I'm like, what?
And she runs up confidence and just like, are you still on the wagon?
Yeah, I assume so.
So she runs up and she's like trying to hug you, like,
Aw.
Trinia, what are you doing here?
oh, I've been waiting.
Here?
Oh, Jason said we've been waiting for a horse to take us up to Harse. A horse to take us to a horse.
You had to see a man about a horse?
Yes, exactly. Right. Otherwise we would have no way to make the journey except by.
Mm.
Mm.
So you've just been here for a week?
Oh yeah, hanging out.
Laying
She looks-
low?
Mm-hmm.
Anything strange happen?
No, nothing. She looks at you, Simran. Would you all like to come inside for dinner?
Yeah.
I could eat.
Yeah.
I think there's
Okay.
someone waiting to talk to you.
Okay.
Who?
I think Ursian goes first. I think I already stepped forward to like make sure it's safe.
Someone's gonna go right behind him.
You can see like some roadside guests just hanging out inside the inn as you walk in, and there is an innkeep, a larger woman kind of bustling around, setting a table for you all, and Vandrin sitting there,
Whoa.
like his back is to the door, and he's just kind of like his hands down. He looks very clean.
All right, Simran's gonna go up to him after taking a second to take a deep breath and exhale.
Oh my god, it's starting. Oh my god. Okay.
Hey,
He looks up at you and then back down. Simran,
are you okay?
he like barely like is able to like look you in the eye and nod.
You've been safe? You've been good?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then Trinia comes up from behind y'all and like slaps him on the back. She's like, "Don't worry, I've been looking after Vandrin."
Oh, good.
He's like, ugh, and then his cheeks flush.
Good. I'm glad. Simran just plops down next to him at the table.
And he's quiet, but he doesn't smile.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not frowning.
But
There's
he's
no
not
grin.
yelling at Simran, so Simran is taking this as a great sign.
Victory!
Yeah.
No, but she's genuinely happy to see him, and given that she saw, that Bazrin was involved, like she definitely feels that him being here can only like be a good thing and a safe thing for him. And she feels the same thing about Trinia. Like she's really relaxed, surprisingly.
Yeah. So we have dinner. Hey.
I
Hey,
said
Wolfman.
we have dinner.
Music, what are you doing?
Music.
Music, stop.
Or don't start. Start.
Maybe Liza can set off more firecrackers in her to entertain us.
Use the powers of my mind.
It sounded like it was like you were like lighting them off next to you.
I know.
They're right outside my window.
These crazy kids.
Oh my
is
god, I'm so annoyed.
it
What the
because you're not using a
fuck?
headset mic? Is that why we could hear them?
You could hear them last time too. I remember you
Mhm.
guys saying it.
Definitely.
That was when I was using it. Well,
Weird. So that's exactly my point.
Hold on, I'm refreshing the page. Annoying. I need the music though. I
I'm
need
so
the music
glad
on.
we finally got Scott to have a conversation with himself.
Yeah, right.
Like, normally it's something you can only get the TM to do, but we got a player to do it.
He volunteered himself. That was my favorite part. He said, Urstin walks up. Okay.
I thought Chris was gonna play Bazrin, and I was excited
No.
to see how that was going.
What? No way.
The first thing I learned in creative writing was economy of characters. Don't make other characters when you already have some that can do the work for you. And in this case, when you have players who can do the work for you.
I didn't know I had to summon my sass along with my crass tonight.
It was amazing. Also, DM 101 tip right there.
That's right.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. You're welcome. I normally charge for those.
Yeah, it's fine. So.
That was really entertaining, though.
Mhm.
It was a little
Bazrin
nerve-wracking. I
is
was like,
so sassy. It's the best.
I didn't know I had to do this. I was like, oh no, what's Bazrin like? This...
Okay, here we go. Finally, Jesus. We sit down for dinner. What are you all doing? This is the final scene of the season. So
Oh,
take
man,
it
that's a lot
away.
of pressure.
Yeah.
Where is everyone? At the head or at the foot of the table rather is Van. Trinia to one side of him and Simran to the other.
Ivor sits on the other side of Simran.
Naturally.
Play cool.
Nice.
I'll sit next to Trinia.
Okay. Jason sits at the head of the table, this big barrel-chested man.
Hmm.
And that leaves...
And I guess I'll sit next to Ivor.
And
Can I sit at the other head? I
Yeah.
could use elbow room.
No!
Vandrin's already sitting there.
He's at the foot.
Give him a shove.
Orsion sits next to Confident, of course.
Of course.
There's a lot of room
Mm,
actually there. I could space.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you get all the elbow room you need.
It's just efficiency of space here.
yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah,
I imagine
that's
as the dinner montage goes on...
Oh yeah, important question. What is for dinner? Is it waffles? And what kind of toppings are there for the waffles?
It's not waffles. It's a large
Not
bird,
waffles.
actually, that's being carved.
So
by
it's chicken
Jason.
and waffles.
Yeah, fried chicken and waffles.
The
God.
Roscoe
Being
special.
the topping. You answered my question.
So I
play
imagine
your own game.
I imagine as the montage goes on, there's laughing and drinking. Simran's playing it cool as Vandrin's slowly coming around. There's Sarah also, who's sitting somewhere at the table, trying her best to remain like in the background. She's surrounded by such strong people and such strong personality. And quite frankly, she's wondering what the next part of her life looks like. And she's also like staring at Trini, just like eyes wide. And the final moment as the camera sets on each of you before the end. What is your character doing in that moment? Sorry, I forgot.
I think I probably am looking over at Sarah, and then I lean over to Trinia, who's sitting next to me. I'm gonna say, "Did you get my letter?"
I did. She smiles and touches your hand.
I'm gonna kind of pat her hand and say, "You know, we have another sister in arms now." I'm gonna kind of jerk my head towards Sarah.
She's squeezed in between like Ursion and Jason.
I'm gonna say, I think, she's probably just as scared and just as angry as you were. And she's probably angry at you, even though she shouldn't be. Just
Don't worry about it. People couldn't stay long. People can never stay mad at me for long.
I'm sure you're right. But just
She winks I've got it. Don't worry.
I'm just gonna smile at her and go back to my dinner.
Who's next?
I'll go. So Simran is sitting between Ivor and Vandrin, and for the longest time, she's just making conversation with Ivor and like letting Vandrin kind of like start to like chime in himself. But once he's warmed up, as like the dinner goes on, she'll tell him. So it looks like hopefully you know what's going on in the city, and it looks like at least Trinia, because I guess Trinia is sitting directly across from me.
Mhm.
They're going to need a lot of help, both Trinia and Sarah, and I would love if we could rely on you to help out and help keep them safe.
I don't know what I can do. And he looks over at Trinia, who's like talking to confidence.
Mhm.
Oh, also with confidence. Um,
You're a
and
smart
you-
kid. And you're a bright kid. And these women have done nothing wrong. And the world's after them. So whatever you can do to keep them safe. And, just make mom and dad proud. And on that note, we don't have to like focus on this, but she will give him a very brief overview, but quietly when like no one's listening. Not about the Plain Touch Society or anything, but just that very recently their parents' bodies were returned, and telling him the real story of how they died bravely fighting and not in an accident, like we'd been meant to believe this entire time.
I was about to ask, as he points at the star medallion hanging out of your shirt. That was Mom's.
Yes. And I hope you don't mind that I keep it.
No.
They were brave, and they fought for us. And we should do what we can to make them proud. And I think you going with these young women and keeping them safe would make them proud. It's exactly what they would do.
Okay, Simran. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know. But hey, for now, let's have a drink and celebrate to new beginnings, right?
He nods, and as you clink, the camera cuts to someone else.
Oh.
I'll go. Ivor shovels chicken and waffles into his face silently. Silently, because there are waffles. Silently, because he has better manners than to talk with his mouth full.
He
And,
brought the waffles, god damn it.
Oh
God,
always to get a
bag.
waffle. Right, your encumbrance is all like waffle iron related.
Is there a waffle iron in the haversack?
There is now.
Candy for the low price.
You didn't question it when I made waffles in a waffle iron in Confidence's apartment. I was worried
true.
Chris was going to come at me. But he usually lets me do whatever I want. So Ivor shovels food into his face silently and looks around the table at, Simran talking with her brother, Confidence, speaking with Trinia, Nucine and Ursian doing whatever they're doing, which we'll find out later. And he, living with a stable company, he's used to these family dinners, but this one with all of these, friends and family members around the table is the closest that he's ever felt to the dinners of his childhood when his parents were still alive, and they would eat, at a big table with Yigna and Henny and all of these other Sable Company members who were already like family to him even before he was adopted. And he just smiles and eats, and he doesn't say anything.
No.
Really nice.
I love that.
I can go if you're
Uh,
good.
Sure. I mean, I'm also ready. Whatever you want.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Since I'm assuming Nusine will kind of I feel like in the same way that Sarah clearly doesn't know what's going on and seems very confused, and much in the same way, well, not the same way, but like in a similar position in terms of not really understanding what's going to come next. Um, Nusine just kind of takes a moment to tell Sarah, uh, life is not going to continue in the way you expect it. I mean, I think about almost a year ago, I was addicted to Shiver, and now we've probably saved, yet also murdered, dozens to kill hundreds. I'm sorry, killed dozens to save hundreds. Yes, I
Freudian
mean,
slip.
yeah, of course. Uh, I mean, look at and she kind of points over at Vandrin and just Vandrin was brainwashed by a drug dealer slash extortionist, and we were able to save him when he was trying to kill his sister. Trinia was
What?
just an artist who did a portrait of the king and then was accused, and then we managed to get her out of being taken to the gallows by the queen. And then, I mean, Blackjack really helped you more than us, but we've made sure that you've been able to make it here. You're not going to know what life is like. I mean, you said only a couple years ago you were just trying to make your way in the world, and then you made it to the kitchens, and then without a word, you were going to get murdered for a crime someone else didn't commit. That's the worst way things can end. So think about it. Rock bottom, it can only go up from here. And look at how many people are here trying to make sure of that. So yeah, your life is not going to be anything like what you've ever expected or maybe even wanted, but you're going to have a life. So cheer up.
Okay. Uh, she smiles nervously, but she gets it. I understand. I understand. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And just cuts her waffle.
Waffles are canon now. The GM
Those have been in Ivor's bag for. That's fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Iron was in his
crisped
bag.
them up with his lightning
Ooh,
electricity
waffle.
abilities.
Very nice.
Now I want waffles. Damn it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Ursian is like sitting and he moves he sits down next to Confidence at some point when things are like winding down and people are still kind of festive and there's a lightness into it. He looks down and he like does that. He's got that smile where his like eyes are serious, but he's still kind of holding like the cheerful look, and it's it's a little disconcerting. And he looks down and Confidence says like, we saved these people, but I can't help but think that we would have to maybe trade a few for the good of the city, for the good of the group, for the protect everyone. The balance. You do the balance. You can see you're the scales. You and Abadar. But never ask me to make that choice, even if it's a smart choice, even if it's a choice that keeps me alive. That's a choice you can make. That's a choice you're capable of. But for someone like me, never ask me to do that again because I won't be able to live with myself. So, so I guess that's all I have to say about that. And he kind of gets up and kind of walks out towards like towards like the front, out through the front door, just kind of like stand out and like kind of watch the road away from like the festivity.
The camera follows out past Ursion's shoulder and up into the night sky, and then like turns full 180 and just like fly south until we once more see the city of Corvos. And the moon, like a half waxing moon, don't hold me on that, rises up in the sky. And the credits roll. Thank you, everyone, for watching the season finale, the first season finale of A Cage Sustained. It has been quite a journey, these past 22 episodes. Next week, in case you're wondering what will happen, we plan on doing some downtime. Much time will pass before the season premiere of Chapter 2 of this campaign, which should be July 30th. We've got some things in the meantime, so keep an eye on our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. You can always get in touch with us and continue talking about the stream and the campaign.
Yeah, I won't shut up on the Discord.
And if you've missed old episodes and want to catch up, all of our episodes through last week are on our YouTube channel now.
Yay!
And this one will be going up hopefully sometime tomorrow, so click that link and you'll find a whole playlist and you can go from start to finish.
Yeah, and if there are any friends who you've been raving about the show to, now's the perfect time to get on board with season 2. So thank you guys so much for being with us.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate
We
it.
really appreciate your company.
That we do.
I also want to thank each and every one of my players for being here, making it this far, and for keeping the energy moving forward. I'm sure I have frustrated you in many ways over the last season. And
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, thank you.
I promise you, I will continue to frustrate you in ways you never
Yes.
dreamed possible.
Chris, you'll frustrate yourself. You'll shoot that alligator again.
Yeah.
Don't remind me. Do not remind me.
You'll forget this by July 30th, I hope, right? No?
But with that, I'm Chris Bernal, the game master for A Cage Sustained, and I would like to bid you all good night.
All right, thank you guys. Bye. And also stick around for a little bit. We're going to be rating Saving Throw Show with the last of the 3 parts of the Salt Marsh. Absolutely.
So good.
Ooh,
All right. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Next week.
bye.